Are you guys ready to witness history in the making this morning? All right, let's hold up those signs and start cheering. Let's go. All right, so thank you all for being here, and it's exciting to have this event here today. Mr. Clark chose our school to break a record this year because he knows he loves you guys as students from his visits he's been here. He knows how supportive you are, and he loves our little school community. So we're really thankful to Bill for being here with us today and being able to share this special moment with us. And at this time, we'll just take a moment to say, silently, we'll just take a moment to say a special prayer for Bill as you guide him through with his strength, not only today, but as he carries on as sort of a great ambassador of God's will. And then we also just keep in mind all of our friends and family who might need some extra strength during this time of year. In the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Let's get ready to rock. First, I'm going to introduce and have our Master of Ceremonies come up here, Mr. Roger Neal, and he's going to begin with our day's events.
Thank you. What a pleasure it is to be here. Thank you so much for inviting Bill, and Bill in turn invited a number of us to be part of this very special day. Today, we'll be witnessing history right here in this very gym. And there are a lot of messages that Bill will be delivering here today. One that I'd like to convey to start, as you watch what unfolds here today, remember, motivation got Bill to this stage. This doesn't just have what you're going to see today, the ability to do this, as in all things in life, it doesn't just happen overnight. We'll talk a little bit about his training schedule and some of the ways he prepares for things like this. But it's about a lot of it perseverance and motivation in life. The hard work that he's put in to get to this stage. And it's something you can take away from today's event right here. So again, thank you very much for having us. We'd like to start things off as a special day also for CHOW, the Community Hunger Outreach Warehouse. We'd like to introduce Les Aylesworth, Director of CHOW, to tell you more about some of the things that they've been doing and how you are helping here today. Les?
Thank you, Roger, and good morning, students. I'm really glad to be with you this morning. Really thank Bill Clark for inviting me, and not only to invite me, but to use this event to raise awareness for hunger. Has anyone ever in their life missed a meal? You don't have to raise your hand, but you probably have, and you felt that sense of like hunger and my goodness, I have to eat right now, and if I don't, I feel like I'm gonna die. Well, unfortunately, a lot of people in our community experience that every single day. Many folks just like you. 1 in 4 students, that means a lot of students, a lot of kids in our community go to bed hungry every night. And so that's why we exist as CHOW. We work every single day to help people like them. And so things like this really help us to help the community. So we're very grateful, and I'm very thankful for this box of food that's right at my feet that you guys brought in to help the community. So for that, I'd like you guys to give yourselves a round of applause. Very good, because it's important that when you think about what even Mr. Neal said about motivation and reaching beyond what you can do, it's hard to do that on an empty stomach. And so what you're practicing with this act is that sort of thing. You're pushing yourselves to help other people. And when we all do that, it makes the community a better place, and all God's people can be fed. So thank you again for having us. Thank you for this wonderful gift of food. I'll bring it back to the warehouse and we'll give it out to the community ASAP. With that, I want to hand it back over to Mr. Neal.
Let's thank you. CHOW does a fabulous job, and again, thank you for your contributions. We have a number of special guests here before you take in a world breaking performance here by Bill Clark in just a moment or two. First of all, we'd like to welcome Joe Mihalko, Broome County Clerk. Joe?
Well, thanks, Roger. Thanks, Bill, for inviting me, and thank you, boys and girls. I'm not sure if you know what the county clerk does, but if your parents or your grandparents have a house, they get a piece of paper when they buy it. It's called a deed, and that deed gets filed in my office. And there's other things you can do. So say when you want to travel, you want to get a passport to go maybe to Europe or Ireland or wherever, you can come into our office and we'll get you a passport. We also have the Department of Motor Vehicles under us. So when you're ready to get a driver's license, you can come and see us, or if you buy a car, you can come and register it. And I know Mr. Clark has come and seen me several times to get license plates, and you may have seen him tear some. And he does a good job at it too. So I hope you'll enjoy today, and best of luck to you here the last few weeks of school. Thank you. Roger?
Joe, thank you. Does a great job. The office is fabulous. We have a number of other special guests here we'd like to introduce. First of all, in attendance here today, Tony Qualiano is here from the Greater Binghamton Sports Hall of Fame. He's the director of the Hall of Fame. Tony, welcome. Also today we have officials, because an event like this is very, very contingent on rules being followed to break records, break world records. And we have, as part of the team today, Tom Eggleston from the DA's office, police officer. Tom, there you go. All right. Also, Kevin Leska from the DA's office. Kevin, thank you. We have Chuck Lawley, Fort Crane Fire Chief, former Fire Chief. There you go, back here. All right. So, also we have Mr. Monachino, principal from Seton High School, with us here today. Thank you. And of course, Mr. Piper, who set things off. Thank you for allowing us to be here today. Well, let's, before we get rolling here and you see what is going to transpire, let's talk to the man who's going to set some records here today, right in front of your eyes, Bill Clark. Bill, tell all these people in attendance here what you're going to be doing today.
Well, first of all, I want to thank everybody, the officials, Mr. Piper, everybody for being here today, for the great amount of support. The reason I'm here today, and well, there's several reasons, but number one really is because of you. You sent me that beautiful letter, and I'm so, so thankful. And so we decided to make this happen. So today we are going to break a world record. We're going to tear 2 decks of cards, one on top of the other. And it's only been done by a number of people around the world, but the top time is 12.75 seconds. And Lord willing, we're going to tear that thing apart today.
How do you train for this? What do you do? What do you do to prepare for this?
Lots of tearing cards, lots of hand work, lots of forearm work. You can see I broke a finger. I broke a finger here a little way back, and my hands are really heavily chalked right now. But if you could see them, they're all torn and bloody here. So it's not something I want you trying at home. Just leave this for me, and then maybe down the road we can teach you a few things. So a lot of hard work, and what you see, what you don't see is all the things that happen behind the scenes. But that's how you pursue greatness. That's how you pursue your very best, whatever it is in life. You pursue the best you can be by doing all the special things when no one else watches. That's how champions are built.
And that's a great message for the students here today, that this doesn't just happen. You didn't wake up today and say, I think I'll do this. This is years and years of hard work, not just doing things like this, but in preparing your body and your mind to be able to accomplish what nobody could believe until they saw it.
Well, that's exactly right. And as a matter of fact, I will tell everybody that the first time I tried to tear a single deck of cards, I wasn't able to do it. I had to keep practicing and practicing and practicing, and years and years and years of doing the things that really nobody else wants to do, because it hurts. That's why I'd rather you pick something else. You don't have to do what I do. You go be the best that you could be in your field. And thank you. I love you very much, and I appreciate all the support today.
Hey, one more question for you. How many of you have trouble getting up in the morning? Yeah, I'll raise that hand. I did it for years at 4 in the morning, and it's still very difficult to get up at like 7 or 8. I know. Well, let's give you a little background on what some of the things it takes to get to this stage Mr. Clark is up at what time to get a first workout in the day?
At 4:30. 4:30, that's the first training session of the day. And then I'll take a few minutes break, have a little something to eat, and then I train again. Most people haven't even gone to work yet, and I've already had 2 workouts in. So it's a very demanding life, but I love what I do, and that's what makes it different. If I didn't love it, and I weren't able to help people and serve Jesus Christ, God above, I wouldn't be doing these things. So it's a tough life, but it's a very rewarding one too.
Let me ask you one final thing. What motivated you to start to do this and to train with the intensity that enables you to accomplish these incredible feats?
Well, I think knowing that I could use these things to help other people, to get into schools and to travel around and talk to people and make their lives better. If you're not doing that, then I don't know what good it serves to tear a couple decks of cards. So for me, it's about doing something bigger for, again, serving God by getting into the communities and helping people to become their very best and teaching them some of the lessons that have been so valuable to me, and I've had the greatest coaches in the world. So those things to me are what really matter. The record itself is really, it's inconsequential, quite frankly. It's the messages that come with the records. The record is just a tool to get people to come watch.
We're going to let you do a little further preparation here. As Mr. Clark gets ready to break the world record, we're going to read the rules to you here because, again, this is very closely watched for any Guinness Book of World Records opportunity to establish a new record. First of all, the 2 decks of cards must be the brand name Maverick. The 2 decks of cards must be in sealed boxes and verified to be so by at least one official. The boxes must be opened and handled only by the individual attempting the record. The cards must be removed from the boxes and stacked one upon the other, and at no time can be separated throughout the attempt. Now, the individual attempting the record can grip the cards, flex them, and put them into the position that he or she will be tearing them in. However, he or she cannot begin the attempt until the official says go. Now, the timekeeper can use any type of prompting, but it's typical for a 3, 2, 1 go to be used. Once signified, the keeper will begin the watch and stop as soon as the attempt is completed. The individual attempting the record may have as many attempts as desired. Concerning the hands, no gloves can be worn, and the only substance allowed on the hands is weightlifting or gymnastics chalk, which you can see up here. Also, if the athlete has injured hands, the majority of officials must concur that the injuries are substantial enough to warrant the use of athletic tape. Only athletic tape can be used, and done so as a method of protection for the athlete. The cards can be chalked as well, and wrist wraps are permitted as long as they do not have any metal or hard substance that can be used for assistance. Any wrist wrap supports must be inspected prior to the attempt by at least one official. Of course, we have the officials right here. The current record stands at 12.75 seconds. 12.75 seconds. Any time under this will constitute a new world record. So as Mr. Clark finishes his preparations, you can watch very closely. And then once he starts, or before he starts, we'll ask you to cheer him on and set a new Guinness Book of Records standard here today. Here we go. Come on! Wow! He didn't just break the record, he destroyed it.
Well, first of all, I got to be honest, I didn't break it, we broke it. And thank you, God above, for all of your incredible support. Let me tell you what, that's my all-time best. I've never done that like that, and that's because I could feel the power that was coming from you, Mr. Pfeiffer, with that morning prayer. You guys set me up. I love you. That was big stuff. Thank you so, so much.
And the power of motivation, that's what bring it through. It's a great message for everybody here.
Yeah, yes. You know what, and it is true. You know, motivation is a very good thing. It serves the short run. Discipline is more important because discipline keeps you going when you don't want to do anything. But today, motivation is great when you do. And believe me, I woke up this morning and I was all ready to go. And you see my hands they're all bloody right now, but I'm going to go cover them up a little bit so that when I sign things for you, I don't get my DNA on your posters. But I never felt a thing. And I never felt a thing because I was so focused. And again, in large part because of you. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, a new record set right here by Mr. Bill Clark. And all saints here this morning. Congratulations, the new record holder. Wow.
And again, I just want to say thank you again to all the officials, all the teachers for giving up your time and for allowing me to come in here today, and all the officials and the news. Thank you so much for being here, and I'm glad I could send you home happy.
Bill Clark, new record setter here today at All Saints. Wow, that's fabulous. Bill will be here to talk with you, meet with you, sign autographs if you'd like. And we, again, want to thank you very much for having us here as all part of this. And thanks to all the volunteers who helped out here today. And let's give it back to Mr. Pfeiffer to wrap things up. Thank you.
All right, boys and girls, that was amazing, right? So Mr. Clark's got some time for some quick questions here. If we have some people or some students that might want to ask Mr. Clark some questions about how he was able to get that done or what he has planned in the future. Anybody have any questions you want to ask Mr. Clark? Okay, we have Nora here. Nora?
When did you start training?
What age? What age did you start training?
So I started training,
Let's see. I was always a guy that was interested in physical training because I was actually born premature, and I was small. And as you can see, I'm still not very tall, but I tried to grow out sideways instead of up. And so that was a big help to me, training hard. But I first really got into organized training probably around the time when I was second grade, third grade. I started wrestling and started martial arts training. And then from there, went into the different strongman things. And I guess by the time I was 18, I was on the U.S. Olympic weightlifting squad. And then from there, moved over to powerlifting. And been a tremendous life for me, but happy to share it with you. Thank you so much for the question.
Anybody else have some more questions?
Let's go, Nicholas. Let's see what kind of question you have.
How do you break a world record?
How do you figure out which records to break, and how do you go and break them?
Thank you, buddy. So I have somebody that kind of keeps an eye on things for me, and they'll watch and see what records are out there, and then they'll come back and they'll say, look, what do you think about this record? Is this something that you'd be interested in doing? And then from there, I contact either Record Setter or Guinness World Record, and I see which one is going to offer the best deal. And then I start training for it. I sign the contract, and there we go. But that's how the process begins usually. I usually don't know too much about these records. Somebody else will tell me about them. And then from there, I'll say, yeah, I like this record, or no, that's something I don't want to do right now. So I'm kind of choosy about which ones, and I try to pick ones that I think that the people will enjoy seeing the most. And thank you very much, bud.
How many world records do you have right now?
Okay, this I don't mean to say, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I know it's over 40, but I really don't even count them. So I don't know. Each one is a blessing, and each day is a blessing. So as far as how many go, I'd have to go count them, but I don't know. But you know what, and this is the honest truth. World record will be gone 2 days, nobody will know about it anymore. That's not what's important. What's important is the messages that you share, the kindness that you show, the determination, the strength, being a source of strength for the community, being a champion for the community. Those are the types of things that will last much longer than any world record.
Dawn, did you have a question up there? I think you were going to hold the world record for holding your hand up the longest.
Why did you choose to break that record?
Oh, so why did this one in particular?
Well, so this is what happened. Somebody told me that, I had different records with tearing cards, and somebody on the internet said that, this record that Bill Clark did was impressive, but this record is even more impressive. And you know what, it may very well be. But I kind of looked at that and thought, so could I do better? Could I become a better version of myself? And so I said, yeah, I think I can challenge that record of the 12.75, and I felt very confident, again, with all the support of all of you wonderful people. And again, thank Jesus Christ, God above, I thought I could beat it, and so that I looked forward to the challenge. I guess that's what the bottom line is. I felt the challenge, now watch this, please listen to this. The challenge from someone else never mattered to me. But the challenge within myself, that's what was more important. So I thought I could break the record to better myself and then share some good messages along the way. Thank you.
Kate, you had a question?
Why did you want to be a strong man?
I don't think you had a choice.
Thank you very much. And you know what? So I'm going to start off that answer with this. Where you start out in life is not where you end up. And that's one of the most important things I can tell you. Where you start out is not where you end up. And if you remember, I told you I was born premature. Well, what that means, I was born very, very small. And so, because I was born small, I wanted to get big and strong. And so lifting weights and again, martial arts and things like that, that was a tool for me to do that. But again, knowing where I came from and where I ended up, it's a big difference. So why did I want to become strong? Because I wanted to change who I was. And I thought that would be a very good tool to make that happen. But again, the big message here is it's not where you start out in life, it's where you end up. Remember, I think I told you this last time, when I was growing up, we didn't even have any heat in the house. So cold showers in February, I didn't even check the water. I would just walk into the shower, it'd be freezing cold, but I never checked it because I already knew what to expect. But I also knew that I could be something different down the road. So it's not where you start out, it's where you end up. And being a strong man helped me to do that. Now for you, it might be going to college and becoming a doctor, or going to college and becoming a veterinarian, or maybe going out and doing whatever. As long as you do it the best you can, and you help people along the way, I consider you to be very, very excellent.
We'll take one more question, and then did you have any other tricks you wanted to show today?
I think I'm done for today.
Oh, done for that. Okay, I can see he's got them taped up, so that's okay.
When did you start breaking world records?
When was your first world record that you broke? What was that story like? Do you remember?
I do, yeah. So my very first world record was as a power lifter, and it was in the deadlift. The deadlift is where you pick the weight off of the floor and stand straight up with it. And that was my very first world record, and I did that. Gosh, I don't even know what year it was. But that's one of the only things that I really have held on to is the world record certificate. Well, I shouldn't say that. They're just they're downstairs in a box. But that certificate, I still look at that, because for me that was the beginning of crossing over from being an elite level athlete to a world champion athlete. So that was my very first world record, and I'll never forget it, because I drove up to the competition in blizzard-like conditions, going 15 miles an hour for 2 hours to get there, and that takes a lot of nervous energy out of you. So I had to sit down and really concentrate and focus and shut my body down and then amp it up and then shut it down and then amp it up. It was a long day, but again, great things come from great decisions, and they come from being willing to take on what a lot of people won't. So thank you very kindly.
All right, thank you. We can see Bill's got his hand taped up, so I think he's done a great job today. We're so grateful. Can you believe it? 1.5 seconds, and he had to beat 12. That's amazing. Who's good at math here? How many seconds did he beat that by? Let's see. Should I go? I think we're going to go 5th grade for this one. Austin, how much seconds did he beat that record by? You're close, here in the neighborhood. Erica? About 10.25, about 10 seconds, right? 10 minutes, 10 and a half seconds. That's amazing, right? So I don't know if that one's ever going to fall. It's possible, but that one's going to be tough to beat. All right, how about one more round of applause for Bill? Another round of applause for all our officials that were here today. And all our special guests that we had here today. And a special round of applause. Give yourselves all a pat on the back here today. And let's flex those muscles. Let's see those muscles you guys got. Let's see those muscles. Marcus, you got them going. You're good. Okay. I know last time Bill was here about a month ago, a lot of you waited in line and got some cards and some autographs and things like that. So hopefully you still held on to those. If there are any kids here, I know there's a couple kids here that were either out that day sick or weren't at the thing. If you want to come up, I think Bill's got some extra cards here that he can sign. But on the way out the door, we're just going to dismiss the classes. And I don't think we're going to run through all the autographs again, because I think we got most of them the last time you were here. But you can give a personal shout out to Bill on your way out the door, and a congratulations, maybe a fist bump on his other hand or something like that. We don't want to injure him any further. Bill, one last question. Is there anything that you're looking forward to for next for your on your schedule for things you want to challenges you're looking at?
Thank you. Yeah, there is one more that I'm looking at. That's to break the record for tearing the most single decks of cards in 30 seconds. So, but I'm going to heal up, let my hands get back together, and then we'll start to pursue that one next. But when the time comes, we'll be ready. And again, I want to thank you so much. I love you all. God bless each and every one of you. And thank you so much for having me. You are amazing.
And so, at this time, why don't we have our kindergarten class kind of come up, tell Bill thank you, tell him you did a great job, and I'm sure he'll tell you the same. And then we'll kind of just have one class go by. And if anybody didn't get an autograph or a card, let your